Good afternoon. I'm Olajumoke, Omotoso, with Global News. In the news, Christchurch attack triggers call for global anti-racism campaign. Theresa May lobbies EU to postpone Brexit. Kazakhstan gets new president after 3 decades.
Is the news.
Now the news. Kenyan police have seized counterfeit bank notes worth $20 million stored in a personal safety box at a bank in the country. Directorate of Criminal Investigation confirmed that 6 people, including 2 bank staff and alleged owner of the safe box, have been arrested. Investigators revealed that the customer had concealed fake currency in his personal safe deposit box against the bank's rules and regulations. The seizure comes at a time when lawmakers are pushing for implementation of amendments to banking laws that will relax the requirement for recording transactions above $10,000. Tunisian special forces have killed 3 suspected Islamic State militants after clashes near Algerian border. Security official Colonel Hosman Jabli told newsmen that the 3 terrorist suspects belong to Daesh group. Reports say days earlier, Islamic State have released pictures of militants carrying weapons in mountains where they have hidden for years. Tunisia suffered 3 major attacks in 2015, including 2 against tourists. One was at a museum in Tunis, and a second on a beach in Sousse, while a third targeted presidential guards in the capital. All 3 attacks were claimed by the Islamic State. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has called for a global fight to root out racist right-wing ideology after last week's deadly attack on 2 mosques in Christchurch. Jacinda rejected the idea that a rise in immigration was fueling racism. 28-year-old Australian Breton Tarrant has been charged with murder after 50 people died in the attack. Meanwhile, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has condemned what he described as reckless and highly offensive comments made by Turkey's President Recep Erdogan in the wake of the Christchurch massacre. Morrison said he will wait for the Turkish government's response before taking further action. It asked Australians traveling to Turkey to exercise common sense and cautioned that travel advice for Turkey was under review. While campaigning for local election, Erdogan presented the attack as a part of an assault on Turkey and Islam and warned anti-Muslim Australians will be sent back in coffins. The Turkish president had been rebuked by New Zealand for his comments and for using awful video shot by the Christchurch mosque gunmen as election campaign prop. You're into Global News from Adabar 88.9 FM, transmitting from Ilara Moki. After the break, Theresa May lobbies EU to postpone Brexit. Plus, Kazakhstan gets new president after over 2 decades. Details will return. Please stay with us.
The news on Adaba 88.9 FM.
My new discovery. Just me, I wish baby that. I'm talking about the new Fun Vanille. Now extra creamy, extra tasty. New Fun Vanille? Yes, Fun Vanille is now extra creamy, extra tasty. Guys, I bet give us the new extra creamy, extra tasty Fun Vanille. Man, this tastes so good.
Yes, your favorite Fun Vanille is that and better than ever before. Stuck in traffic or having a long day?
Treat yourself to the new Fun Vanille. Now extra creamy, extra tasty. It's so yummy.
Glad to have you back. For news, updates, and live streaming, visit our website www.adabar89.fm or download Adabar FM, Adabar 88.9 FM app on Google Play Store. Like us on Facebook, www.adabar89.fm www.facebook.com/adabarfm88.9. Follow us on Instagram as well as on Twitter at Adabar89FM. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel on Adabar 88.9 FM TV. Now to the rest of the bulletin. UK Prime Minister Theresa May is looking to ask the EU for a delay when she formally requests the Brexit be postponed. EU Brexit negotiator Michael Barnier said the EU would not grant a delay without a concrete plan from the UK about what they would do with it. Information has it that under current law, the UK will leave the EU with or without a deal in 9 days, while any delay will have to be agreed by all 27 EU member states. Ms. May is heading to Brussels on Thursday to discuss the option with fellow leaders. A UN court has handed down its final ruling in the case of former Bosnian Serb leader Radovan Karadzic, who was convicted of genocide. Karadzic was sentenced to 40 years in prison in 2016 by a UN tribunal in The Hague, but appealed his sentence. The 73-year-old man was found guilty on 10 counts of genocide, war crimes, and other atrocities, including planning the Srebrenica massacre of July 1995. The massacre was the worst atrocity in Europe since World War II. A career diplomat, Olajumoke has assumed the position of Kazakhstan's president. Tokayev was sworn in today following the resignation of veteran leader Nursultan Nazarbayev after 3 decades in power. The new president will serve for the rest of the term, which ends in April 2020, in line with the country's constitution. Nazarbayev resigned on Tuesday in what appeared to be the first step in an organized political transition. A judge in Guatemala has issued an arrest warrant to the country's former Attorney General Telma Aldana, who is also a current presidential candidate. Ms. Aldana is wanted on charges of embezzlement, lying, and tax fraud. The former Attorney General has worked closely with the UN-backed Anti-Corruption Commission to try to impeach incumbent President Jaime Morales. Meanwhile, Ms. Aldana has denied any wrongdoing. Gunmen have attacked a convoy of trucks carrying uranium fuel to a nuclear power plant near the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro. The convoy came under attack as it drove past a community controlled by drug traffickers in Angra dos Reis, a tourist city. Police officers escorted the convoy responded, and a shootout followed while no one was injured or detained. And now to sports. The Nigerian under-23 team say they are ready to slug it out with their Libyan counterparts in the first-round first-leg encounter of the qualification series. Victory in today's match will pave the way to the final round of qualifiers for the champions, slated for June. The match kicks off at 3 p.m. today on the artificial turf of Ben Guadan Stadium in the city of Ben Guadan. To end global news, a recap of our top stories. After last week's deadly attack on 2 mosques in New Zealand, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has called for a global fight against racism. UK Prime Minister Theresa May is persuading the European Union on the postponement of Brexit. Olajumoke has been sworn in as the new president of Kazakhstan. It is the country's first change of president since 1990. This global news as edited by Olabisi Olaniyi Oluwasegun. I'm Olajumoke Omotoso. Good afternoon.